Hi folks, this is Poogle from Realty. I wanted to provide a monthly market update for October 29. I'm going to share numbers for the North Texas region. Okay, the number of homes that got sold in North Texas, single family residential property, is 8,310 homes. That is up by 1.6% when compared with last year. The number of new listings, which is supply of homes that hit the market, was 11,294 homes, and that is up by 5.1%. Now let's look at the average price of a home that got sold in North Texas. The average price is $316,000. That represents a average price increase of 5.4% when compared with last year. When you look at the average price per square feet, it was $134, and that is up by 3.9%. Now let's look at how long it took on an average for the home to be sold. In North Texas, that was 51 days. That represent an increase of 8.5% when compared with last year. Folks, I wanted to share a few of my thoughts with respect to the housing market, what it has done and what it is likely to do in the month of November and December. So I looked at a couple of metrics. Last week, November 1st, the unemployment number came out. It stands from Bureau of Labor Statistics, 3.6%. It is very low number, which means more people are working, making money, and they would like to find a property. Therefore, the housing market is getting better. We experienced slowness in quarter 2 and quarter 3, but it seemed to be picking up momentum. The second factor that I see in the market is the interest rate. Once again, last week, the Federal Open Market Committee met and they reduced the borrowing rate by a 0.25 percentage point. Immediately, based on that decrease, the 30-year mortgage, as of Friday, November 1st, 2019, it stands at 3.625%. Compare that with the last year, same time period, it was 4.8%. So the mortgage rates, the interest rate you pay to borrow money is gone down. That has piqued a lot of interest in the buyers coming out and looking for homes. Or there are people who wanted to get out of the apartment or rentals and they want to own a property. Therefore, that is a second factor driving the demand for homes. And lastly is the housing and urban development, as well as the Justice Department last week came to an agreement where they were wanting to relax some of the lending rules for first-time buyers with low down payment. There is a program called Federal Housing Authority Loan, FHA loan, where one can buy a property with just 3.5% down. Way back in 2009, during the housing crisis, the rules for banks, the lending rules were much tighter and stricter for borrowers of home loans that want to put either a low down payment or first-time home buyer or someone with a lower credit score. But what happened last week is the HUD and the Justice Department began relaxing it, making home affordable for first-time buyers or buyers with low down payment or buyers with low credit score. So that is driving the demand for housing. The fourth factor, specifically in Dallas, is the migration or relocation of many companies into Dallas-Fort Worth area. In the last couple of years, we saw major moves from Toyota of North America moving their headquarters, JP Morgan Chase moving their operation centers from all over the place, State Farm bringing their operation centers. So big moves into Dallas, and that trend is continuing. I follow a number of banking stock from an investment perspective, And one of the things, listening to the conference call from Jamie Dimon, he is the CEO of JP Morgan Chase, they want to continue to move their operations or jobs from New York to other areas. So the JP Morgan Chase has a big operational center at the intersection of Dallas North Tollway and Sam Rayburn Tollway, and they are finding it to be cheaper, and housing affordability is much higher, and what that is resulting is a lot of people moving into North Texas. So these are the factors. So the unemployment rate, the lower mortgage rate, relaxation of rules, as well as migration of companies moving into North Texas is driving the demand for housing. So if you're in the market either to sell your home or buy your home, reach out to me, Poogle. So folks, I wanted to share the monthly market update for Collin County. Some of the areas in Collin County is Frisco, Plano, Allen, Prosper, and Salina. Let's look at the number of homes sold, single family residential property. It is 1,184 homes. That represents an increase of 0.9%. The number of new homes or the new listing that came to the market was 1,604. That represents an increase of 2% when compared with last year. Now let's look at the average cost or the average price of a home sold in Collin County. That was $377K. That represented a price decrease of 1.6% when compared with last year. If you look at the average price per square feet, it was $141. That represented an increase of 1.4% when compared with last year. How long did it take on an average for a home to be sold in Collin County? That was 58 days. That represented an increase of 1.8% when compared with last year. Hi, I wanted to share the metrics for the Dallas County, which includes cities like Coppell, Irving, Carrollton, Farmers Branch, and Dallas. The number of homes that got sold in October was 1,567 homes. That represented an increase of 1.6%. The number of new homes that hit the market in the month of October was 2,341 homes. That represented a decrease of 1.2% when compared with last year. Now, the average sale price of a home that got sold in Dallas County was $371K. That represented an increase of 11.2%. Now, when you look at the average sale price per square feet was $158. That represented an increase of 7.5%. Now, let's look at how long it took for a home to be sold in the month of October. That was 44 days. That represented an increase of 25.7% when compared with last year. That means in Dallas County, it is taking longer to sell when compared with the same time period last year. Folks, let's look at the numbers for Denton County for the month of October 2019. Denton County covers Flower Mound, Argyle, Highland Village, Louisville, and many other cities like Corinth and Denton. So the number of homes that sold was 1,146 homes. That is an increase of 10.2% when compared with last year. The number of new homes that came to the market was 1,396. That represents a 0.3% increase when compared with last year. Now let's look at the average sale price of a home that got sold in Denton County. It was $365,000. That represented a price increase of 4.1% when compared with last year. The average rate per square feet was $141. That is an increase of 1.4% when compared with last year. Now, the average time it took for a home to be sold in Denton County was 53 days. That represented an increase of 1.9%. Folks, now I wanted to share the statistics for Tarrant County, which represents Keller, Southlake, Euless, Bedford, Hearst. Now, the number of homes that got sold in October was 2,108 homes. That represents a decrease of 1.9% when compared with last year. The number of new homes that hit the market was 2,609. That represented an increase of 2.9% when compared with last year. When you look at the average price of a home that got sold in Tarrant County, it was $291,000. That represented a price increase of 7.1% when compared with last year. When you look at the average price per square feet, it was $130. That represented an increase of 5.7% when compared with last year. Now let's look at the number, how long it took for a home to be sold. It took 42 days on an average to be sold in Tarrant County, and that represents an increase of 16.7% when compared with last year.